eating time. Oh, how? Welcome to our Thursday night Dharma class here at our Kwai Dharma Center, Kagyu Tupten Choling, located in the raging town of Kapa on the island of Kauai. We do this every week, every Thursday night from 6 to 8, and it is recorded and put on our website. So if you can't make class, then you can look back on it later. Tonight's class is going to be Guru Yoga. Guru Yoga is the essence of Tibetan Buddhism, which is called shamanistic Lamaism. Tibetan Buddhists are not Buddhas as a religion. In other words, in the Buddhist tradition, the Buddha is considered something like a god in the other traditions of religion. And devotion and respect and honor and training and discipline and all of that go with Buddhists. But the purpose of most Buddhists is to not come back to this world. We call that the Hinayana path. And when I say Hinayana, Hini means self-realized, arhat, something like a vehicle or method to not return to this world as a human being or any other kind of being. But in shamanistic Lamaism, we don't do that. We do just the opposite. Our purpose is to train our mind so that what we say, think, and do is based on what we call karma. Karma means what you say, think, and do has a result in your future. And this karma is the only thing that we believe in, up to a point. Because once your body, speech, and mind is in what we call a state of union of the inner Lama, which is a word for honorable mother, which means your true nature of your mind, because mind has two natures, just like the universe has two natures. Well, you didn't know that? Yeah, the universe has the actual nature, and then it has the energy nature of the actual nature. Now, the actual nature is the way we sense the universe, so that's what we call the drama field. But the universe is a self-perpetuating energy program. And its basis is nothing whatsoever, or space. But space isn't nothing. Space is an energy program. But what happens in the spatial aspect of nature is it produces something spontaneously. And what is it producing? Everything that you see, smell, taste, touch, feel, everything sensual. And everything that you think about. So the nature of the universe is all pervasive and timeless. It doesn't have a beginning, it doesn't have a middle, it doesn't have an end. And everything in this energy field is interconnected. You, me, everybody totally interconnected to every atom of energy in the entire universe. And every atom in this energy field has the same program called light. And this light is purpose, if you want to say purpose, is to support life, cause it to arise in some way and then support it. But at the same time, your mind is interconnecting to this totality of the universe. So the mind nature is all pervasive, just like the universe. You can think of anything, right? And we do. That's how we have all these, for instance, technological toys in this age. That's how we did the industrial age. That's how we got through the agriculture. That's how we got through the shaman age, which was going on up until 2,000 years ago. And there's still tribes on the planet that practice shamanism. Shamanism means to bring the mind of the individual into harmony with the natural world in such a way that you're healthy. But not only that, in such a way so that you mature as a human being, you become a mature human being, which is basically what our mothers, good mothers, wanted us to evolve into. This mature human being has a label. It's called Buddha in Buddhism. So yes, the other traditions of Buddhism believe in the Buddha. We don't. We believe that everybody is already a Buddha. See? That's the other nature of your mind. And in that nature, there's no emotional programming going on. And it's not an escape clause. It's just the other nature of your mind. And what it is, referencing it to the world around you, the easiest way to reference it is to the sky or space. So your natural mind is like the sky or space. Your ordinary mind is like everything else. That's called the drama mind. We have a new-age term called the monkey mind. Not much better than monkey mind. But in the drama mind, there's a problem. And all of us have this problem. And it is simply pain and suffering. Okay, so now wherever there's a problem in the Chinese proverb, it's an opportunity to do something about it. Okay? And actually, one person's problem was another person's opportunity to profit from that problem. And so that's why we're here. And this Tibetan Buddhist shamanistic stuff has been around for 2,600 years, and it was started by what they call the Buddha. Well, the Buddha was a human being, and only human beings can be Buddhas, and every human being is a potential Buddha. So it's not just the Buddha, it's all Buddhas. Okay? Now, it's an accomplishment. But more than that, it's a mental realization of clarity. And in that state of clarity, because there's no emotional drama program going on, there's no judgment, oh, that's good and that's bad, and I like this and I don't like that. And this is high and that's low, and this sucks and that's wonderful. You get me? In this other nature of your mind, that program isn't there. And it's intrinsic. Well, we call that the Lama. The Honorable Mother. The mother of what? The mother of wisdom, insight, compassion, loving kindness, whatever nice things you want to think about. But more importantly, this is the real world. There's no pain and suffering there. And that means you don't have to escape and maybe an arhat and say, I'm never coming back to this world, because that's not true. You can say that and think that, but that's not the way karma works. And every being in this universe is evolving, but at the same time, they're migrating. Now look at the migration of people on this planet who wants to come to America. Well, in the spirit world, the migration is kind of like that, but everybody wants to go to heaven, the celestial world, where everything's la la land, you know. And that's okay. That's what religions are about. But in shamanistic Buddhism, we don't want to go to la la land. Because anybody that says that they're better than anybody else in any way immediately has a problem. Because they're saying that with their drama mind. My religion, my God is better than your religion or your God. My way or the highway, if you're down. Well, that's arrogant. That's judgmental. That causes separation. And that's what leads to war. Lack of peace is war. And it could be a war with yourself, it can be a war with the beings around you, or it can be a war with your environment. But this idea of separation doesn't work. You know, being independent doesn't work. Well, that's the whole American philosophy. Be independent, you know. The higher you go, screw everybody else. Arrogant. No. What you want to be is interconnected. And recognize that everybody and everything is interconnected to you. Therefore, you have the responsibility to take care of that. Just like you have the responsibility to take care of your body, you know, eat properly, exercise, meditate, do yoga if you have that tendency, you know, think nice thoughts, be a good person. That's being responsible. But more in Tibetan Buddhism, we take on the responsibility that every sentient being is a potential Buddha. And yes, there's some good ones and bad ones, but you don't judge them for that. The good ones, well, have a good time with them. The bad ones, take care of them. That's intense suffering to be like that. And the worse, the more compassion you should have. See, this is Tibetan shamanism, and it comes from inside. Yeah, there's lots of lamas. There's thousands of them. Men and women, guys and girls. But we're all just human beings. You know? We poop and eat the same way as everybody else. What does the Lama have as a responsibility? What do I have as a responsibility? Because now they're calling me one of these things. Lama, Honorable Mother. Lama, La, Honorable Mother. Well, that's the same thing as we call our inner nature. And that's the same thing as we call the world around us, because everything around us is our mother's support system. The sun, the earth, the stars, everything. Every single atom, that's our life support system. But Lama in the Tibetan tradition means a person who is trained in both natures of the mind extensively, so that they can give this information to others and guide them if necessary, so that they don't waste it. So they learn, so they know how to use it. Oh, yeah, I didn't go through a 40-month retreat to become an arhat, you know, or an angel, or some divine celestial being. No. My teachers stressed in the very beginning that, yes, I have a very special situation and I should use it now to benefit others. But in the process, what does that mean? Well, that means since I know something, I should make myself available if others are interested in what I know. So some people ask me, what do you know? And then I can tell them, and now my lama-ship is working verbally. But actually, the lamas, like the Dalai Lamas, they don't do much at all. You know, you don't see them out there plowing the fields and digging ditches. Well, some of them do. I did. But I'm unconventional. But in any case, like the Dalai Lama, he says, I meditate, I do yoga. Oh, well, what are you going to do with that? Be loving, kind, and considerate. Laugh a lot, because he does. I'm the Dalai Lama. So we take refuge in the inner nature as the Lama. Tonight we're going to do a Guru Yoga. And we're going to base it on the refuge of your inner nature being altruistic, being at least saying that whatever you are really is only for the benefit of everybody else. That's where yoga starts in our tradition. So we're going to read that. And this is how you take refuge with your own inner nature, because everything is that way. This is absolutely true. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and other sentient beings, our mothers, we now altogether take refuge and offer prostration.
We go for refuge.
We go for refuge to all the glorious holy ones. We go for refuge to all the yidams who are the deities gathered in our knowledge. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered the mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha, the teachers, and we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of Dharma. All of these possess the eye of transcending awareness. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this supreme assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the sixth perfection, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. So, the first one is the altruistic motivation, which is what Tibetan Buddhism is all about, and none of the other Tibetan Buddhists do that. They just don't do that. Okay, yes, they have devotion to their teachers, yes, they have devotion to the Dharma and the Sangha, but they don't project this as a heartfelt expression that every single being in the universe they're responsible for.
Other Tibetan Buddhists don't do that?
We're the only ones that say that.
Oh.
No, we're not the only ones that do that. We're the only ones that say that right up front.
Oh, okay.
That this is an enlightenment program that we now all together take refuge in for the benefit of all sentient beings. It says that, for the sake of all beings. Well, what are beings? The sentient beings. Well, they're painful. We're painful. So reverse that, sir. We're full of pain. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain. We're full of it. And every time we make a judgment, we activate it. And every time we make a judgment, we activate an emotion with a thought that causes more pain and suffering. And here all the time we're seeking happiness, but we're causing pain and suffering by the way we think. So you have to start someplace. So the altruistic motivation means that the real Lama, the mind of the inner nature, your true nature, is really about everybody else and everything else in the universe. And it comes from here. This thought comes from the heart. The mind cannot get around that. You can't get your ordinary drama mind around that kind of heartfeltness. So it's infinitely applied. Okay, so if it's infinitely applied to what are sentient beings? Well, they're the animals, humans, and spirits of this universe. Those three categories are sentient beings. Are plants sentient beings? No. Does that mean they aren't aware? No, they just don't have pain and suffering. Okay? And actually, spirits live in the plant. Is the mineral life sentient? No. Is the Mother Earth sentient? No. But sentient beings exist because they have an emotional predisposition of sensing, smelling, tasting, touching, and feeling and thinking. this trauma field awareness. So I'm expressing this refuge in a certain way so that when we do this Guru Yoga tonight, it's not about me, it's not about lamas, it's not about, you know, what we relatively think is true. It's about what's absolutely true, ultimately true. We make up all kinds of stories. That's our ability. All of these religions, all of these political organizations, all these military things, all these corporate things. We make all this up. And what happens? Nature takes a beating. This planet, Mother Earth, and she's going down. Okay? Mother Earth goes down, we go down. No more human. Right now, we're halfway through an extinction process. It's not noticeable. And this process is not favorable. And so our life support system is who we are. So we must change our thinking. So where do you start with your thinking? Is with this altruistic motivation not only applies to sentient beings, it applies to our environment. Okay, then you take refuge with the Lama as the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. That means all Buddhists are in the program at whatever level they are. Okay, so then it becomes Buddhism. But in the Tibetan tradition, the Lama and the Lama symbols are the practice, and you have to be able to use your imagination as well as your ability to focus. That's what meditation is for. And retrain your mind thinking. And to do that, you have to talk to yourself. So therefore, that's why you say these words out loud. But most importantly, spirits inhabit you and everything around you in this universe. Everywhere in the universe is spirit. Animals and humans, we're limited to planet. The spirits, they can go anywhere, anytime, do whatever they want. And they do. So I'm going to say this in Sanskrit because Sanskrit is designed for two specific applications. One is to convey wisdom to all the tribes of the planet, all the cultures of the planet, America included. And also to talk to the spirits that are in and around you that this is what you're doing. Can you help? Wow. And that's really good for what we really do, is healing. So this is a healing program. This is not a religion. Shamanism is all about healing, healing the energy fields around us, inside of us, and in our relationship with each other. So I'm going to chant this first phrase in Sanskrit so the spirits that are around us here this evening, and wherever you are, know we're on their side. We're interested in their well-being. Tagdan Jowanam Ge Tadan Yambe Semchan Tamche Tudine Junte Jizi Janchu Ningpo Lachi Kibardu. Now we take refuge using Sanskrit. Valden Lama Tampa Nama Chapsu Shio Yiram Chakor Yina Sola Chapsu Shio Tanye Chodem De Mama Chapsu Shio Tampe Mama Chapsu Shio Pape Gandu Nama Chapsu Shio Pao Kanjo Chucham Sunge Shoe Sheki Jendam Dempa Nama Chapsu Shio. In the Bodhisattva prayer.
Sanje Chodon Choki Choknam Lajanchu Padu Takni Chapsu Shi Takti Jinso Tike Sonam Ki Chola Kancher Sanje Drupasho.
This is where the healing program starts at all levels. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Spiritually means to include the spirit. Real spirituality is all about spirit. That's the way the tribes of this planet have survived up until this industrial age. Now we have the technological age. And it's kind of leaving them out. Worse than that, it's destroying their habitat. What is their habitat? Everything. And while we're doing that, we're taking half the animal life on the planet out at the same time. Gone. Here in Hawaii, 90%. Gone. The birds in the forest, gone. The fish offshore, gone. Okay. This year, where are the whales? I hope they're not. In any case, good. If we didn't have a problem, we would need to practice Dharma. Okay? So this is an inspiration. Now this Bodhisattva prayer, the last one we did, it starts off with the word Sanjay. Sanjay is a word, Tibetan word for Buddha. The word Buddha is two words. It means patterning of light, vibration, are you with me? Of energy. And that applies to everything. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energy program. So when we become a bodhisattva, the word Sanjay means to clear completely emotional involvement with everything. Well, good luck with that one. Sanjay means cleared completely of judgment. That's the word for Buddha in Tibetan. Okay, so patterning of light, that sounds really nice. But what it really means is the patterning light is an absence of judgment. No good, no bad, no supreme divine and supernatural, no low lives, no hell realms, no nasty anything, okay? No judgment. No not knowing. Knowledge and wisdom have to work together. Wisdom is available to all of us, but how to use it, that comes from here. So when we say Guru Yoga, we're talking about the heart. We're talking about the heart mind. The same way the Sufis talk about it. If you ever read Rumi, okay, or ever watched Rumi, ever did Sufi practice, the whole program is based on the heart. Okay? Like that. Now, I was a Sufi, so I can say that. But there's two kinds of love. There's the ordinary drama love, which everybody knows, and there's another kind of love called unconditional love. Both of these are necessary. And they shouldn't exist separately. But they should exist without attachment to what you love. Oh. And not calling it good. Because if one person loves, another person's hate. You got to watch out for this judgment called good. One person's good, another person's bad. Okay? One person's high, another person's idea of being low. You got to watch this. That's the mind. And so this habitual tendency to judge is the cause of connecting your thoughts with the emotional program of an I existing separate from everything I'm sensing and thinking about. And the Bodhisattva is trained not to do that in the Tibetan tradition. The Dalai Lama does not do that. Okay, that's why he's such a happy guy. He's walking around. Oh, you want some wisdom? Here, have some. You want to know what I do? Well, I practice loving kindness. You know, that's what my mom taught me. Loving kindness is our religion. And you don't leave anybody out. The worse they are, the more deserving of your loving kindness and your concern for their well-being. I said that over and over. I'll keep saying that. And if you get too nuts, so once in a while, we got Mahalona Mental Hospital right down the street. See? Because not everybody can take on responsibility for themselves and everybody else in the universe. So now we're going to do this Guru Yoga. And the 6 perfections are simply 6 disciplines that a bodhisattva practices and mingles it with everything he does. He or she, because bodhisattvas are men and women both. And there's both men and women lamas too. This is not a patriarchy. We want to make that clear. So when we do this, it's applied equally, coming from the heart. And the outer lama is simply a guide so that when you lose it, which we all do, whatever reason, the lama can say, well, maybe you need to adjust your thinking a little bit. Because when you get crazy, everybody thinks, oh, well, I'll just move to Hawaii. I'll go someplace else. That doesn't work. The same mind goes with you. The mind is the universe. The Dalai Lama says, your thoughts create this universe. Your thought. He didn't say everybody's thought. So we're going to do this. Guru Yoga. Rainfall of Blessings. And this blessing is an oral transmission written by this Lama. This was my Ru Lama, 1977, Kalu Rinpoche. Okay? There's a little picture of his corpse. He put it in a stupa. Can you believe that?
Gilded.
In his monastery. It's solid gold. They gilded the corpse. Today is 30 years celebrating his leaving his body and going into the next world. All over the world they're doing it. All the lamas in Hawaii are at his monastery in India. They want me to go. I said, you're going to do my Guru Yoga. And that goes on for a week. Who is he now? He's this kid, 31. Now, this is a picture of when he was at our Dharma Center. Okay?
Here, in Kauai, right?
Yeah, in Kauai. And this is Kalje, we call it Kalu Rinpoche. He took on the word Yansi, added it to his name. This kid's now 31 years old. And he's a wisdom lama. He's a teacher. He's gone through the retreat. Everything necessary, but he's out there. He's what this is about. So when you connect to a teacher, man or woman in the Tibetan tradition, if you have honor and respect for that person and listen to what they say and do the practice, whatever practice. I mean, it could be just a prayer you say when you're eating, or putting out water and food for spirits, or something really simple. That's the source of the transmission, that kind of connection, a heartfelt connection to somebody that knows something you don't and is willing to give it to you. So this is the oral transmission of the Tibetan Sutra and Tantra, so called Tantric practice. And it's called the Rainfall of Blessings, and this whole text is actually derived from this text, which has 10 more things in it than this text, and a Tibetan text which was about this thick, which is like this, only real thick. So this is what we're going to do. So we start on page 1. We'll read it together. glorious and precious Guru Lama,
residing on a lotus seat above my head, with your
great
immense
kindness, please
care for me and impart the realization of awakened body, speech, and mind.
So that realization is that you're a Buddha. Next. I and all beings respectfully take refuge in the infinite aspects of the three jewels and three roots. We just did that by taking refuge.
We practice the profound path of Guru Yoga so that all beings may realize enlightenment.
Say that again. I and all beings respectfully take refuge in the infinite aspects of the three jewels and the three roots. We practice this profound path of Guru Yoga so that all beings may realize enlightenment. Enlightenment means realization of you, who you really are, and how to use it. Now we're going to chant that. Chakne Gyatso La Dogso Joku Gi Puke Kyab Sushi Sem Chen Samje Sala Go Kar Chur Manza Lame Naljor Bupa Ja. Then we're going to say everything is based on light and space. They call it voidness or sunyata. We say this mantra 3 times. Om Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha Om. Om means everything is natural. Om Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha Om. Om Subhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Subhava Shuddha Om. The word Dharma means wisdom. The rest of it all means that everything is nothing whatsoever. Okay, that sums everything up. Within this expanse of voidness called Hom, in the space just before me, upon a lotus
lion throne,
sun and moon seat, is my Lama as Vajradhara, which is the embodiment of the three roots, lamas, deities, and protectors. He is blue like the sky and holds a vajra and bell in his hand, fully arrayed in fine silks and jewels. He sits in vajra posture. He is joined inseparably with his consort, the natural luminous splendor of space. The light from his heart invokes the three roots and three jewels, who descend like rain and dissolve into him. In his nature, everything is united. He says, all are united. And that's what you took refuge in. Okay? Now you sit for a minute, just for a moment, and contemplate united, interconnected. The idea of nothing is separate. Nothing exists as separate from our mind or our body. Throughout the totality of space, then come back to the text. And what are we going to do with this realization now that we've told ourselves that we're Buddha? I and all sentient beings, I and all others, imagine our forms multiplied as many times as there are atoms in the universe. Each of these forms, bowing with respect before you, Lama, embodiment of all the sources of refuge, Clouds of limitless offerings, outer, inner, and secret, expand to all universe, and all this we offer to you. With intense regret, we reveal all of our negative obscurations, acts, faults, and downfalls, perpetrated since beginning this time, and resolve to avoid their repetition. We rejoice and delight in all virtuous actions, be it conditional or unconditional, of both samsara and nirvana. Samsara is the world of humans, and nirvana is the world of the celestial. For the sake of all beings, our aged mothers, who wander in darkness, please set ablaze the torch of the vast and profound teaching, until all beings have attained your unsurpassable realization. Please remain in this world immutable like a Vajra, in your manifest form. To all beings, we dedicate all the virtue of the three times, past, present, and future. And may we all together attain this state of Vajradhara in union with Vajradharani. That means may your state of connectedness include everything, the whole world and all the beings in it. So we sit for a moment and contemplate that. This is called taking it to heart. When you contemplate outside the box like we're doing now, this is taking it to heart. You're moving from this dimension of being, the drama mind, to the all-pervasive nature, your natural mind. For the sake of all beings, our aged mothers, we said that, right? Go down to the bottom. Precious Lama, essence of all the Buddhas of the three times, please cause me to relinquish self-clinging for the sake of all beings. Please cause contentment to arise in this being. Please cause me to practice of illusory body and dream. Grant your blessing for the attainment of this supreme accomplishment. The clear light of Mahamudra, right now, immediately in this very place. So when you say these words, what you are asking is that you understand that everything is like an illusory or light body, like your dream. You know, it's interesting about dreams, you don't take birth in your dream. You don't have a mother and father, but yet your dreams are real. Okay? Like your dreams, the next life. When you move from this existence in a form body to the next life, it's similar to the dream state that you experience every night. So get ready. You're getting ready. Next. Now this is called calling to the Lama from far, or making a connection, a mind-to-mind connection. Om Guru Vajradhara Ayu Purni Jana Siddhi Om. So this mantra means I am connecting my mind to the mind of the all-pervasive nature of the Lama in a heartfelt way. So Om Ah, Om is for the body, Ah is the energy of the body's speech. And the very last word, Om, is may I accomplish healing of thee. Om Guru Vajradhara Ayu Purni Jana Siddhi Om. Om Guru Vajradhara Ayu Purni Jana Siddhi Om. Om Guru Vajradhara Ayu Purni Jana Siddhi Om. Om Guru Vajradhara Aya Jana Siddhi. Om Guru Vajradhara Aya Jana Siddhi. Oh, now those words. Guru, Vajra means indestructible. Dhara means wisdom. Ayu means compassion. Punya means bliss. Jhana means knowledge. And Siddhi means accomplishment. So this means in your own situation, you want to have clarity and knowledge. You want to have bliss where there's no pain or suffering. These are desirable factors. And you want to understand that everything is an illusion. Nothing is solid, fixed, and permanent. Everything you think, smell, taste, touch, feel, all of that is energy. And moment to moment, it's changing. Your body, every atom in 7 years will be a whole new set of atoms. Did you know that? It's scientific fact. But the energy of the universe is always moving. The air is moving, the water is moving, the earth is moving, everything. Your mind is moving moment to moment. And that moment to moment is where you want to be. That's where the power is. Because then you can tap the infinite energy and life support of this universe. It's your universe. Next. Precious Lama who shows kindness in 3 ways. Please confer upon me the 4 maturing empowerment. At this very moment of prayer, the silver home, this white light, radiates from the home of my Lama's forehead and is absorbed into my forehead. My obscurations of the body are purified, and I receive the base of empowerment and empowered to cultivate the creation phase of tantric practice. Thus I gain the good fortune to realize the fruition of the Nirmanakaya, which means of an earth being with special ability. That's easy to understand. So sit for a moment and let's take that to heart. And while you're sitting there contemplating, you can visualize white light coming from the Lama's forehead, which is all the Lamas, into your forehead. To adjust this control system you call your brain and your whole body. So what is taking place here is the transmission of the energy, of the physical energy of the Lama coming into you. And it's no biggie, because it's easy to understand that it's just a light show. White light coming into your pituitary pineal gland right here. And all the secretions of your brain are affected by that, and all those secretions travel through every cell in your body. And it's okay. Because now you're becoming extraordinary. Not better, just extraordinary. That's the first transmission. Next one. From the syllable ah, amidst red light radiating from the ah at my Lama's throat, absorbed into my throat, I now receive the second word, secret empowerment. My obscurations of speech are now purified. Now I'm empowered to practice self-consecration. Thus, the seed of the Sambhogakaya is sown, and its realization will be born. What is the Sambhogakaya? Is the energy of everything, is who you are. So this energy program is a vehicle that causes physical, mental, and emotional healing. So you sit and see red light from the Lama's throat from the ah, which is the sound of energy, coming into your throat, so that whatever prayers or wishes you make, whatever mantras you sound, whatever speech you communicate with others with, is okay. Next, from the syllable home, amidst white light,
blue light,
radiating from whom of my Lama's heart,
and
is now absorbed into my heart. I receive the wisdom and power. My obscurations of mind are purified,
and I am empowered to practice the path of the messenger.
Thus the seed of the Dharmakaya is sown, and its realization will be born. My Lama dissolves into light and merges inseparably with me. This is the fourth empowerment, and it is received as obscurations of meditative equipoise are purified. And I'm empowered for the inconceivable practice of union or non-separation. Thus, the four kayas are realized. This is the inseparability of the expanse of the totality of everything and awareness, and it is directly experienced. Then dawns the naked experience of bliss and voidness. In this way, the mind of the Lama and my own mind merge. One now rests in that state without judgment. Or just be present. And who are you being present with? Yourself. Moment to moment awareness. No judgment. Then, having made this connection to the inner Lama, as projected outside as a man or woman, physical being that knows the true natures of mind and knows all these shamanistic tricks, they help one to become more and more beneficial, more and more in harmony with nature and healthy, and die healthy. That's very admirable to die healthy. Then you sound the mantra of the three ways the Lama transformed his physical, his mental, his speech, and his emotional program into your three places. So we say this mantra, visualize an Om in the forehead or inside the head in white light, an Ah in your throat in red light, and a blue Hum sound in your heart center, each one in a sphere of the same color. So you have a white sphere enclosing, red sphere, and a blue sphere. The sphere is a symbol of universality. And chant the mantra while you think. These three are lit up. And what you just said in words is actually taking place. Om. 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 Now take all that energy of your body, your speech, and your mind, and project it to your own mother, the one that created your body, or whoever you really love or like, because you really have a strong connection. You see these three lights and all that okay energy going out to a single person that you care about. And that is how all of Tibetan Buddhist shamanistic practices are transmitted to each individual who has that inclination. That is very, very rare and very, very special. And it is important to wake up every morning and tell yourself that you have this extremely extraordinary connection, and you should use it now. That's my first thought in the morning. Before I brush my teeth, I have an extraordinary situation and I should use it now. I don't have to say how, why, when, where, none of that. Just acknowledge that you're there. Wherever there. Okay. Now, this aspect of Guru Yoga, when you connect to the Dalai Lama, okay, his advice is about wisdom. His advice is about how to be a good person, good human being, and how to use the knowledge and insight of your own natural mind. But when he does it, he always starts out with this joking around kind of thing, because you want to keep your sense of humor about it. Because when people get arrogant, they lose their sense of humor. You know, my way is better than your way. My God's better than your God. And you don't want to go there. That's counterproductive to the Bodhisattva. Here's what the Dalai Lama said. Your thoughts create this universe. And my religion is practicing loving kindness. And that is absolute wisdom. That's absolutely true. That's as good as you can get. And when you say that, you're outside the box. You've stepped into a zone that's all-encompassing. That's the nature of your mind. That's your natural mind talking to you. That's called the Dharmakaya, the wisdom vehicle. Dharma means wisdom. Dhar means action mother, wisdom mother, Dharma. Kaya means vehicle. How do you be the wisdom mother? How do you interact with nature and all the beings in nature, especially the sentient beings, with loving kindness. Concern for the well-being of others is called compassion. Okay, add that. But don't forget, if you're going to be a shaman, you've got to know how to use these tricks. If you're the universe and responsible for every being in the universe and the environment of the universe, you have to have knowledge. So now you're in school. You're in school with your body, your speech, and your mind. And at the end of this Guru Yoga prayer, which we just said, we have what we now call the dedication. The dedication means, what are you going to do with it? Now you know who and what you are, what are you going to do with it? But this is what you're going to do. By the virtue of this, may I quickly realize the nature of the glorious one and establish that very state in all beings without exception. In all my lifetime, may I never be separate from an authentic Lama and so enjoy the magnificent richness of the Dharma. May I fully perfect the qualities of the path and stages and quickly attain the state of larger Dharma. That's it. So what is the state of larger Dharma? The state of larger Dharma is knowing that you are absolutely nothing. And because you are absolutely nothing and you know that, you are everything. Contemplate that.
Everything and nothing.
No, because you know you are nothing, you are everything. No I, no soul, no me, no mind, nothing. Dump all that program that says that you and everything that you sense and think about is separate from you. Dump it. Delete it. Hit the delete button. At the end of every practice, hit the delete button. At the end of every prayer, every wish, every connection to the teaching, hit the delete button. And relax. Simply be present in the ultimate nature or awareness of waiting. And if you want to know how powerful that is, look at the sky. Everything comes from the sky and goes back to the sky. And the American Indians knew that, and the Hawaiians knew that, and every tribe on the planet that practiced shamanism knew that. And all the concepts about what is and what is not disappear. And you can relax. And since Vajradhara's consort is the limitless light of space, that makes it easy. You're always in union with the universe. Now, this is a prayer that was designed by Kalu Rinpoche to enforce this practice. The first part of this is an actual practice. And that mantra that we did is to enforce the practice verbally. O Mr. the Lama, you who lovingly care for all who have with you the deep connection of karma and aspirations. You stir the very depths of this ocean of suffering that is cyclic existence. And you are the great chariot that conveys us on the path of freedom and lasting happiness. Your kindness can never be repaid. Lama, consider us. So what you're saying is that your own true nature is your guide. And this true nature is being supported by other beings outside of you so that you see its usefulness. But more than that, you see how to use it, because you can see how they're using it. If you don't think they're not using it, check out the stupa. That's a result of their using it. Okay? Next. Second line. You stop the beginningless stream of karma and disturbing emotions and confusion. You turn us away from this path of cyclic existence to establishing three disciplines of our body, speech, and mind, and you unite our minds with the Dharma through your maturing and liberating instruction. Among even the supreme guides, you are sovereign. Lama, consider us. Now what that means is simply the disciplines that you are training in are your body's discipline, your mind's discipline, and your speech discipline. Is there anything else to train in? Is there? No. That makes it really simple. The three things that cause you the most suffering are your body, your speech, and your mind. And if you don't believe in karma, you're screwed. If you don't believe everything you say and everything you think and everything you do doesn't determine your future, right now, your future, and the future of your next existence, which is guaranteed to be out of this body, you're in big doo-doo. And on this planet, people, humans, do not believe in karma on this planet. And if you think that's not true, turn on the news. Next. You stop the beginningless. Do we read that one? Oh.
No.
Among even the supreme guide, you are sovereign, moment, consider. Oh, I see. You stop the beginningless stream of karma, disturbing emotions and confusion. Did we read that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so go to the bottom. Among even the supreme guide, you are sovereign, moment. The next page. The flame of your wisdom consumes the juggle of ignorance. You directly reveal the true face of Dharmakaya, awareness in itself. and place us in this very life in the royal domain of non-dual union. That means a state of no separation. All-pervading Lord, Master of all enlightened aspects, Lama, consider us.
Noble
Lama, sovereign of infinite mandalas, noble Lama, restorer of accomplishment without exception. Noble Lama, source of all that is necessary or desirable. From the depths of our hearts we pray to you. Grant your blessings that I and all beings of the six realms, my aged mother, may be quickly liberated from this swamp of misery that is cyclic existence. May we be inseparable from the state of relinquishment and realization of the ocean of accomplished Kalu mastery. And may our minds merge with your mind. So that's what the whole Guru Yoga is about. Emerging of the mind of the wisdom teacher, an outer soul, to enforce your inner one, which you already know. And you know this, or you wouldn't be doing this Guru Yoga. You wouldn't be here. If you hadn't done this before, you'd be out there watching the baseball game. Going to a bar. You know? No, we have done this before. We have done this before. And we are all over this planet. And there's no separation. You know, everybody thinks you can't go anywhere. You know, in the universe, you can't get off this planet. All you have to do is get out of your body, you can go anywhere in the universe. There's no science fiction about that. You just can't take your body with you, that's all. Not even in a spaceship, no way. The energy forces out there are just like waiting to nibble on you, your corpse. What is cyclic existence? What is cyclic? What does the Tibetan think about how we move around? How did we move into the spirit world? How did we become animals? How do we become human beings? How do we cycle? What is cyclic existence? We should think about that. We should think of it. What is cyclic existence?
Birth, old age, and death, and the continuous cycle.
Okay, so we have aging, sickness, and death guaranteed, right? In the human condition. So let's start here. Everything starts in the human condition, by the way. It doesn't start with some God creating. It doesn't start in the celestial world. None of this starts in the spirit world. None of this starts in the animal world. Everything that you're doing starts right here in the human condition. On this and any planet where there are humans, this is where it all starts. And everything in this universe comes back to this. Every single animal, every single spirit, and every single human cycles emotionally through these 6 types of being. So this stream of being, this mind, is the mind of the universe, and it has this program, and you cannot get out of it the way we are. You cannot get out of it. No religion, no God or goddess can take you out of this predicament. You are guaranteed emotionally to become an animal. You are guaranteed emotionally to become some kind of spirit. And you are guaranteed to again take rebirth on a planet somewhere in the universe as a human being. You're guaranteed that. That's called cyclic existence. How is this guaranteed enforced? Nobody wants to point this out to you. How is it emotional? All karma is based on emotional predicament. This I, this me, this, oh, I'm so wonderful, I have a soul. Oh, I'm so good, I'm going to heaven. My God is better than anybody's God. I'm richer than anybody, I have the best health of everybody. I know more than anybody. I. With me? That emotional predicament based on this idea of an idea, an I in motion, causes you to go to hell. So 99.9% of everything in psychic existence is that. Oh. Now that's completely opposite to what every religion on the planet said. But how does it mean you're going to hell? It means that your emotional program involves something called hate, anger, rage. You have that. And when you go into that state of consciousness, that is the spirit world. But at the same time, if you say you're better than everybody else, that arrogance is also the spirit world. If you say you're lower than everybody else, insecure, what we call anxiety, depression, all that stuff, fear, that creates your next rebirth. You create your next rebirth with your emotion. So these 6 kinds of rebirths are totally based on your emotional program. Do you believe that? No. Don't believe that, because it's absolutely true. You can believe whatever you want. You can try to evade this program. Does that mean everybody goes to heaven and eventually goes to hell? Does that mean everybody in the animal world gets to be a cockroach? No. But in this temporal existence, we move emotionally right here on planet Earth through these 6 kinds of rebirth. Some of us are like hungry ghosts. Some of us are like raging wolverines. You ever saw a wolverine? They're not that nice. Some of us act like gods and goddesses and demand to be adored. Some deliberately kill people and think that's okay. Those emotional programs, it's not the activity, it's the emotion itself. And if you don't bring these into some kind of cure, then you continue to do that. Now, when everybody comes to the Dharma, they always want to hear what the Dalai Lama said, that he practiced loving kindness. But the Dalai Lama himself gave me the instruction on cyclic existence. And in my bathroom over the toilet, I have a picture of the stomach of a wrathful being, and all of the 6 cycles of existence are in his stomach. And in the very middle of that picture of these beings going from heaven to hell, animal to human world, and back are 3 animals in the middle of it. A chicken, a pig, and a snake. What are those 3 symbols? Chicken, pig, snake. Chicken, lust, desire. Snake, angry. That means harmful, angry. Pig, stupid. Does that mean that they're really that way? No, these are symbols. But those symbols, ignorance, attachment, and aversion, are the causes of all pain and suffering. These emotional programs. And so here's a picture of cyclic existence. And so while I'm using the toilet, I get to remind myself that I'm here and I'm going there. if I don't follow my own true inner nature, my heart.
It has all 6 realms in that?
This is all 6 realms.
Okay.
What are the other 4? The heavenly realm, the war God realm, which is heaven, the sun, the deprived spirit realm, and what we call the demonic spirit, the hell realm. Those are the 4 spirit worlds. They exist in human beings on this planet, and that causes them to be that way in the next life. Did anybody do it to them? No. Every single being is responsible for their own.
They made their choices.
And these 3 animals are right in the middle. And then, so that delusion, ignorance, however you want to think about that, stupidity, bewilderment, that's the pig. Aversion, hatred, anger, abusive nature, harming self, others, and the environment. That's the snake.
Mm-hmm.
And the lust, have you ever seen chicken? What's the rooster like to you? Hump the hen. Dig for worms. Always looking. Go here, go there, go here, go there. So that's why they put those 3 as symbols of our emotional preoccupation. With what? For self. Whatever goes around comes around. That's what we say here in Hawaii.
So what are the 3 emotions of those 3 again?
Attachment, aversion, and ignorance.
But it's the attachment is the pig?
Is the chicken.
Oh, the chicken.
Ignorance is the pig. And aversion is the snake.
Okay.
And out of that evolves arrogance, which makes up all these ideas of the celestial realm is really where you should go. That's a big problem because the celestial realms are not permanent. Nothing in this universe is permanent. And also, they're not supernatural. Nothing is above the natural law of the universe. Nothing. The universe is not created. It's this beginningless, timeless, self-sustaining program made of light. Space doesn't have a boundary, so everything appears. But it's a light show. And that's a scientific fact. They're atoms, that's it. Molecules, particles, whatever you want to call them. When you leave this corpse behind, it all goes back to where it came from. It's just good compost. So would you put that back in your place of honor? This is Guru Yoga. You know, everybody thinks some high and mighty practice of stretching where you get your body all limber. Well, that's necessary too. That's why we do prostration. Hit the depth, dive into space. So when you do a prostration, all you're doing is changing your mind. You're taking all the energy of the universe into your head, then into your brain, then into your speech. Your brain controls your body, and then into your heart mind. Which if you don't have a heart mind, then you know better than a snake, a chicken, or a pig. And you dive into space. You think that. You visualize it. And when you do that, you think that every single sentient being in the universe is going into that dimension of being with you at the moment. And where you're going with this is to a place of no pain and no suffering. Nothing whatsoever. I could do this all day and all night. But Abby would appreciate it. Sit with your back straight. Hands in a comfortable position, either on your knees or in your lap. Tilt your head a little bit forward. Line up the energy of your head chakra with your throat chakra, heart chakra, power chakra, and sex chakra. Get them all in a line. Place your tongue against the palate, mouth closed. Train your eyes to be open and gazing to the space arm's length in front. Not too close and not at an object. Something like Zen, but we don't use a wall. Then bring your focus to your breath. Become present with what sustains you, the elements of the natural world. They're all located in the air you are breathing: earth, water, fire, air, and space. As you inhale, visualize the air that you are breathing into your lungs to be white light filling your lungs. The energy of the elements in the air spread through your body. You visualize that as red light flashing to every cell in your body. And as you bring these two energies together, you exhale blue light out your nose and think that this is a healing breath available to everybody in space. Everybody. Every body, every animal, human, and spirit. Inhale white light, fill the lungs. The energy breath, the absorption breath, red light, visualize splashing through your body, even through your hair. These two come together as healing energy out your nose as blue light to space. I like the color of the sky because it's always changing. And with this code, this color code of breath, it's called Prana Yoga. Take your focus off the three lights and the breath and rearrange the three lights as one light and center that particle of radiation in the center of your chest, in the center of your body. And replace this particle in a tube of energy that runs from the top of your head down through your body to your bottom of your torso. That energy center running through your body is your life support system for every program of good health in the body. The particle is connecting you to the radiant life force energy of the entire fabric of infinite space. That's the way particles work, like the atom. Now, this dimension of being is your natural mind. This is the way we are programmed. And so it is called the all-pervasive nature, or the Dharmakaya, of your natural mind. Then with that as your basis, and your imagination working together, visualize or think, because a lot of people can't use their imagination, too many screens, whatever. Visualize that particle to grow into a small sphere of clear light. Then keep that growing until it arranges itself to a symbol of one of the 5 elements. Tonight we are going to use the air element, which is visualized as a half sphere. So each of the elements have their own geometric symbol and color. They cannot be separated, but for healing purposes, we can do this. It's all about imagination and focus. So in the center of your heart, see this symbol, the half sphere, no bigger than your thumbnail, right in the central channel of your life force. And keeping imagination and focus together, see that half sphere of green light labeled air to move out in front of your body and up before your eyes where this program started. Then developing these two together, focus and imagination, visualize the half sphere to expand into a much larger size, as big as you like actually, where you can see your body sitting inside, just as you are. And with this psychic energy program, you are receiving the full life force support into your physical situation. Now share that by visualizing that half sphere of green light to expand to completely enclose this island of Kauai, including the surrounding ocean, air, everything, or the town or city or area where you live inside. Then expand it with your imagination to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere of air. Expand it in size to completely enclose our solar system. Everything within billions of miles in every direction, sun, planet, everything, everyone, inside. Then expand it to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy, 100,000 light years in diameter, inside this symbol. Then go beyond your conceptual mind again with a fabric of boundless space and light. And since you cannot conceptualize that, relax in the totality of voidness called space. No center, no circumference. Having contemplated that, with your mind's eye, you again visualize the half-sphere symbol to enclose the galaxy. Shrink it in size to just enclose the solar system. Very much smaller to just enclose Mother Earth. Then the island or area where you live inside. And tinier to just enclosing your physical form, so that all the energy of what you are meditating and contemplating enters into your physical situation. All the life force energy of the universe. Then to finish, bring it back to its original size, no bigger than your thumbnail in front of your eye. Then to chest level and into your heart mind, your heart chakra. Shrink it in size until it becomes a small sphere of clear light, and keep it shrinking until you again create the particle connecting to the infinite light of boundless space. Relax, no meditation. Contemplate space. Nothing whatsoever. Don't block any thoughts. Don't attach to your sensual perceptions of your body. Just stay present, alert. Past doesn't exist. Future doesn't exist. Present doesn't exist. Relax. And before you finish, raise your hands so that the palms are facing each other about a foot apart. file. You just cleared yourself. At least severely. So that's shamanism in a nutshell. That's Taoism. That's how the tribes of the planet survived up until the so-called modern age. Why is this elemental nature meditation using the symbols of earth as a six-sided yellow cube or gold cube, water as a blue sphere, fire as a red pyramid, air, as we just did, as a half sphere of green light, and space, the universal symbol of white light? What do they have in common? Everything. There you go. Mm-hmm. Everything. That's what they have in common. That's what your mother made you out of. You know, I was raised Catholic, 18 years Catholic school. My mother was an atheist. I go to school every day, and teachers tell me God made me. God creates everything. I come home and tell my mother. She'd go off the wall. Don't you ever come into this house and tell me God made you. I made you. My dad would be sitting right there, and he was a full-on Catholic. He just smiled. He said, that's why I married your mother. Opposites attract. So what is the dichotomy we have to live with? Everybody else is judgment from the moment we come out of our mother. Everybody else is laying their trip, their idea of this universe on you. And their concepts, and their beliefs, and their way of doing things. And you're supposed to go along with the program. I couldn't do that. I was the most uppity brat, spoiled kid you ever want to see. So what does that mean to you? That's Tibetan shamanism. We're not going along with the program. So in this like-minded position, you are connecting to thousands of other people that are doing this practice all over the world. Or whatever practice, Guru Yoga. The lamas have this memorized, the monks and nuns. I don't, because I don't have a good memory. But whatever practice we're doing, it's the same with every student and their lama, wherever they are on the planet. And that is a grid, very much similar to what we call the web. And that's why we take this program and put it on the website. For the people on the other side of the planet, it's out of respect. I don't want people to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch me blah, blah, blah. No, they can go to the website at their leisure and lay there in bed and have a drink and watch me get their advice. And if it's useful, okay, and if it's not, okay. And then some people, they call me on the phone and say, wow, that was pretty cool. I tried it and got this and this and this result. Some call me up and say, that's a crock of shit. You know, I couldn't do that. I said, okay. Well, see you next week. So to finish tonight, we're going to do the dedication prayer. And just to let you know that all shamanistic Lamism, all the sutras, and all the tantras, and all the teachings on voiding are all Guru Yoga. All of it. Doing prostrations, saying these prayers, making wishes, reading the sutra text like this is a sutra, practicing tantra, in meditation or sexually or whatever way you want to practice it. All of that. And it all is based on altruistic compassion and unconditional love. And if you get into the bliss stages of the practice, do not attach to the bliss. Because it's permanent. You don't have to have any type of attachment. It's always there. That's your inner law. Never goes away. And it'll take you out of the cyclic existence program. You don't have to go to heaven. You don't have to go to hell. You don't have to be a cockroach, chicken, pig, or snake. And you don't have to be a human being. Relax. Be what you really are. An energy body. Having a great time with an infinite universe. Without pain and suffering. Kewadi Nurjuda Chaya Champo Jujune Rotaban Joa King Marupa Deyi Sala Goparshu Sanjay Kusha Dempai Chumorton Choni Megu Dempai Chumorton Yendu Nietzsche Jupai Chumaki Chita Goma Moma Juparshu. By this virtue, having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in that state. By the blessings of the three bodies of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of the Dharma itself being unchangeable, and by the blessing of the wishes of us, the Sangha, being unwavering. May this and all dedication, prayers, and good wishes be fulfilled. And may all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss, and become emotionally stable. Jushi J, mahalo, thank you. Much aloha. Any questions from Zoom land? You got a few minutes. They don't have to be honorable questions. You could ask me why I'm so uppity tonight.
Why are you so uppity tonight?
Javier.